Is the clock ticking on Dame time in Portland? We'll see. This is Hoop Talks. What is going on, everybody? I am Jelani Goodridge-Reid, along with the crew that is Noor Zainab and Justin Pooni. So, guys, we're looking out west right now, and Portland. Portland right now, it just hasn't been good all year long. Myself and Justin, we had agendas to push. Haven't really been great, per se. But look at this recent report from Chris Haynes. He came out with a report regarding Dame Lillard's status. So they are shutting him down for the remainder of the season. As you can see, the Blazers are 32 and 43 right now, in the Western Conference. They're 13th in the standings. So it appears as though season's over, right? And with that being said, guys, I'll give it to Justin first. Justin, what has happened with Portland this season?
Injuries, man. Like, you think about Dame's been missed time with injury, but also Jusuf Nurkic, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, all three of those guys, probably the three best players on the team right after Dame Lillard, right? And the Blazers have been kind of falling off just this past month. Yes, they've been up and down all season, but think about a couple weeks ago, they were in the middle of the play-in/playoff race. Those three guys get hurt, they start losing, and then it's done. It's curtains, right? And now all the talk is, of course, well, is Dame going to want to leave Portland? Is he going to want to be out of Portland? Well, I don't think so, right? And it's a shame because Dame was having a career year. He's averaging 32 points, right? Good for third in the NBA. But also, here's the other thing. He's got a boatload of money coming his way. Right now, he's got $45 million coming up to him, $48 million, $58 million, and $63 million.
I wish.
Owed him every year for the Portland Trail Blazers. So, yes, you could trade him. Yes, we've heard about, KG saying if he plays at the Mecca MSG, he's one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah. But that's just not who Dame is. I think Dame and the Blazers need to have a serious talk about how they want to build this roster around him. They have got a lottery piece in Shaedon Sharpe. They're going to have another high lottery pick. What are they going to do to enhance the team? Because you can't keep on throwing away years for Dame.
Yeah, so Noor, looking at his situation, right, understanding where the Portland Trail Blazers are at, if you're Dame Lillard, do you stay 10 toes down, or do you finally say, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm going to run from the grind?
I think this is no longer the team that Damian Lillard could look at and be like, oh, this is going to be a playoff push every single year. Because they're used to that, right?
Yeah.
Probably a couple of years ago, that's what they were used to. They used to make noise in the West, and Dame used to lead that team by himself. But I think based off of recent events, based off of how much they've lost, yes, they have a lot of talent right now currently too, but those guys are also injury prone. We've seen that with Nurkic time and time again. And on the other hand too, the Western Conference got a billion times better since the Blazers were actually playoff material in the Western Conference. You're seeing a bunch of teams now that can make noise, and teams that you never expected to as well. Like the Grizzlies came up out of nowhere. Kings this year are having the dream season, Pelicans are doing well as well. The Thunder are somehow making the playoffs, or the play-in at some point. So there's not much room to mess up anymore. And with a stacked conference like that, everything depends on injuries. And if one guy goes down, it just makes it that much easier for a team to hop over him.
Yeah, 10 toes or no?
Come on. I don't understand people keep on trying to push the narrative he's going to leave, right? He's said it his whole career. Now he's just going to switch his mind, right? I think, look, if the Blazers come to him and say, hey, Dame, we want to move you because, look, we know how great you've been for this franchise, but we want to rebuild and retool. And he said, I don't want to rebuild or retool. Yeah. That's the only way I think he leaves. If the organization itself goes to him and says, Dame, look, thank you for everything you've done, but we want to go younger and we just can't recruit players. We just can't make it work to bring the necessary pieces to make a championship contender. And if he does, and then that's the only way that Dame will go. If it's a mutual thing and the Blazers go to him first, but I don't see Dame going to the Blazers and be like, I don't want to be here anymore. Get me out of here. It'll be the other way around, I think.
Yeah, no, I think he's cut from that cloth of guys that we used to see. Kobe. I know he requested that trade. I get it, but he was a Laker, okay? You're looking at Dirk, of course. He stayed with the Mavs. Tim Duncan, great situation, obviously, in San Antonio, but he stayed there as well. So guys like this, right? We don't see that often anymore. Guys like Steph Curry, Brad Beal, those are like the guys you could consider. And
Giannis.
Obviously Dame. Yeah, Giannis, huge. Yeah, Giannis not going anywhere was massive. That was massive for the league, right? So I think Dame is cut from that same cloth. And actually, he's like the poster child for loyalty. I am somebody that likes loyalty in this NBA, right? I think we saw the super team era, right, play out, but I think it's good that he's committing to the city of Portland, the state of Oregon. He's done a lot for them, right? But of course, as a fan, I want to see him win, right? But at the end of the day, I think people are pressuring him a lot to win. So I want to ask you, Noor, does a ring, like if he won a ring, let's face it, it's not happening in Portland, okay? But let's say it's not happening in Portland. Let's be honest with ourselves. Never know. Really.
Nobody thought the Raptors were ever going to win a title. They won
Let's
a
go
title.
back to the Raptors.
The Portland
again.
Trailblazers are not winning. I'm sorry.
Thought,
I used to think it's possible. I don't think it's possible anymore.
anything's possible, as KG once said.
I don't think it's yes. Shout out KG. But Noor, okay, Noor. I want to ask you, if he did win a ring in Portland or somewhere else, do you think that helps his legacy like even more, or do you think he's fine without a ring?
I think it's so tough talking about players and their legacies with rings, because I truly think a player can be fine without that, because you see guys like Charles Barkley. Absolutely. There's trolls out there that always say, well, where's your ring? Where's your ring? Yeah. But look at what he's amounted for himself even without a ring. You don't need to have a championship to be a guy that everyone looks up to, even years after you've passed on from the NBA. Not passed on, actually, but passed on from the NBA. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it boils down to what Dame considers important. Now, the discourse around it will be different. And the discourse will not favor a guy that does not have a ring. You put a conversation with Damian Lillard, give him a guy next to him who has a ring. People are going to go for the guy that has a ring because that's proven material. But the problem is we don't get the context behind that conversation, because you have to realize where Dame comes from. He's leading a team by himself in the Western Conference that's been super stacked for years. So the odds have been against him. Could he have moved and gotten a ring somewhere else? Absolutely. Has the other player done that? Probably. But it's just him being loyal is great for him, but also could be a problem for him depending on how he wants the conversations to happen.
So like he's loyal to a fault. So do you think it solidifies his legacy or no?
Again, this goes back to what Dame was talking about ring culture, right? It's like, look, Charles Barkley is a top 50 player of all time, one of the best of all time, but he was a bus driver of teams that went to the finals, right? Dame has said before, he's like, I'm not the type of guy to go crew up with somebody else because that's the easy one and you're expected to win, right? Dame's talked about how I want to bring players to Portland in my city, my franchise, so then I can win, right? Look, of course, Dame said it before. He's like, I want to win a title, but I want to do it on my terms. I want to do it in Portland. I want to win in Portland because it means more than anywhere else.
Right.
And I think seeing, the Raptors win a title in Toronto, seeing Giannis win a title in Milwaukee, you see just how much more it means than the titles, like, for example, like KD won.
Yeah, so quickly, any team that you think should make a move?
Miami.
There's a team in the Eastern Conference that also resembles the Portland Trailblazers. So check out the Raptors, Damian Lillard. I'll send you a YouTube link afterwards. Let me know.
I would absolutely cry if he was a Raptor. But that is all for this topic. We'll see what happens with Dame moving forward. This was Hoop Talks.